this is almost like a direct continuation to that last video I made, as this came midway through that video. So what is actually in this is the brand new frame arms kits, which I don't actually know the name of. To now I've just been calling them like the samurai one and the knight one. So this is the samurai one and the knight one. I think I packed that knife I was using in with the GN arm, so yep, I did, but I found it. So far, I've only ever built one frame arms kit. Can't remember what it's called. The pink version of Rapier, or I don't know what it's called. But anyway, that one, the pink one. But I wasn't very impressed by it. It was weak, to say the least. It just completely fell apart anytime I tried posing it. I tried gluing it and everything, but when you don't glue the joints, it's still weak and still falls apart and just not that impressive. I've built other Kotobukiya kits as well, like some of the Muv-Luv kits, but they kind of suffer the same issues. They're just so fragile and they're really not that great. But these particular frame arms look really, really cool, so I decided I'd give them a go. So this interesting way Amazon packs its kits, kind of shrink wrapped to some cardboard, so get that off there. So these cost about 4,000 yen each. 3,600 for one of them, 4,000 for the other, but I'm not sure which is which. And there's also a giant elastic band on here. So my camera battery just died there, so it actually gave me the time to go get this. So this is the other frame arms kit I was talking about. This is the frame arms Rapier. They're just not the greatest kits, and just I did glue this so it's not so delicate, but they're quite loose and parts just fall off all over the place all the time. So this is a few years old. These are brand new, so hopefully they'll be much, much better. They look much better. The design is a lot nicer on these, and they seem to use a lot more clear parts. These are looking good. So on the top here, it's the NSG Z0D Magatsuki. And the one down here, this is the samurai one. This one, the knight one, is NSG Z0E Doruga. Doruga I think that is. Maybe it means one. But in both of these here, you can see this comes with some nice blue clear parts. This comes with some nice red clear parts. So that's pretty cool. So first, I am going to have a look at the Magatsuki. First off, I'll mention that the packaging on these frame arms is actually quite interesting. The way they have this little window over here that you can see the pre-built frame. They also have one over here with this. I'm not sure if they've done this before. I haven't seen one like this before, showing the clear parts in here. Now this clear frame is both a good thing and a bad thing, depending on your perspective, but I think it's mainly a bad thing, especially if it's still the same as it was with Rapier over here. That's because usually it's not cleaned up so well, so it'll have gate marks, nubs, mold lines. Usually I don't clean up mold lines myself too much unless they're really, 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 really bad, but personally, if they're not so bad, I don't really care that much. But definitely the nubs and the gate marks can look pretty nasty on these, especially when they're ones that you can't correct yourself, like they leave an indent in the plastic. Those are the ones I don't like. But hopefully this is better. This has metallic frame. I think you can buy this separately. It's called a modeler's version or something like that. So that's automatically better than just the standard plastic frame with this one. Well, that's plastic as well. Standard matte grey plasticky looking frame that came on the Rapier. So onto the side of the box here, and there's the front and the back, and it looks fantastic finished. It looks absolutely great. It has 4 katanas here, 2 small ones, 2 big ones, and they seem to be going for a kind of a armor cast-off thing here. You can take off the majority of this outer armor and leave it as this more basic robot down here. And I'm not sure if you can swap the parts with this one and the Doruga over here. I'm going to guess that you can, because with the frame arms, they all share the same basic frame and the same kind of connection points all around the frame. So the only thing that would stop them being able to switch parts is just parts getting in the way of other parts, so that'd be worth seeing. The art of it here is really cool. There is some frame arms boxes that just have like, kind of like a master grade box, just have box art. The box art does look nicer than this, but it's kind of cool the way it has this. It's more unique, stands out a lot more from most Plamo. Nothing on this side, nothing at all really. And that's the box of the Magatsuki. To this side, and here is the Doruga. So pretty much the same here. The frame is exactly the same on both this one and that one. Clear parts over here in red. This is, I'm not sure what you'd call it, first production. I guess first production. And it includes some extra clear parts. I'm guessing this is for customizers. I don't customize models because I suck at painting them. I tried painting one before and it sucked and I gave up. Yeah, so I don't do that. But this is a really cool addition for if you do want to paint your kit, because trying to paint a colored clear part, there's not really much you can do. Like, you'd never be able to paint it a completely other color like green or a light blue or something like that. So with these, you can completely paint the entire kit and use a clear paint color on these colorless clear parts. So that's pretty cool. Okay, onto the side here with this one as well. And I think I prefer the design of this robot more than the samurai one. The samurai one, the Magatsuki over there, I thought was really cool at first, cooler than this, but I don't know if it's just a kind of knight looking thing. I guess it reminds me a bit of Nightmare from Soul Calibur, but the lance is the only thing that I'm not a real big fan of. It has a mace as well, lance, mace, they're cool and all, but it's a knight, so it would have been cool to have a big broadsword or claymore with it. It kind of sucks not having a sword. I know this one's swords over here, but would have been cool to have a sword with this as well. But Kotobukiya do have their MSG parts as well, their modeling support goods, and I guess you could get one, but again, I don't paint kits, and yeah, it would have been cool to have one. But I'm rambling now, but let's get on past that. I'm going to unbox these really quickly, because I don't want to spend too long at it. So back over to this one, and yeah, oh, I didn't point out over here, but same thing over here with the armor parts coming off. It will be interesting to see if you can switch them between the two, and it just looks awesome. This over here is an unpainted version. I think it's pretty cool that Kotobukiya usually put a picture of the kit unpainted as well as it painted. Gundam kits, I think it's just unpainted on the box all the time, I think, because you pretty much get what it looks like. I think Kotobukiya tried to dress them up a little bit so that you're like, whoa, this looks awesome, and then when you have it built, it kind of doesn't. Either that or it's designed for real modelers, I guess, or something like that, that will put the time into making it looking like that, but I don't. So, we'll see anyway. Okay, so there's nothing on this, so it should just slide open. It should. Okay, here we're looking in just at the very first layer of when you open up the box. So, the frame is in a completely separate bit of packaging here, so that's nice. And the clear parts and metallic parts are down here as well. So you've got some blue clear parts, and there's the colorless clear parts, which is a really nice addition for the reasons I mentioned previously. These are the metallic parts. They're not a chromed style metallic, they're just metallic plastic. And these also come with clear parts as well, which that's quite impressive. 2 different sets of colorless clear parts. So you can have like beam effect looking katanas with this. So this here is more metallic parts, a lighter metallic grey and a darker metallic grey like the frame. So in past the first layer is another box. No, it's just actually a covering. So inside of that is the rest of the plastic. So I'm not going to go through all of this individually. More parts of, I'm guessing, going to be the frame, and that's in the dark plastic. More dark plastic and the lighter grey plastic. And here is that, I don't even know what color this is. It's kind of pinky maroon, or whatever you'd actually call that. And that looks quite nice. Can't wait to see what that looks like finished. And more parts of that color as well down here. And finally, the manual. So as well as the manual, there's this, which this is listing the clear parts. So it's been a long time since I've built a frame arms, and I'm looking forward to building one again. Quick flick through the manual. There's something in here, I think for reordering maybe lost parts or extra parts. Okay, so over here is your parts list, same as with a master grade kit. And over here is how you put it together. So first, kind of like a real grade, I guess, you take apart the frame. Well, if you put the frame together already, I always put the frame together on a real grade first, and then kind of build the parts onto it, as opposed to just building all the parts, as opposed to just taking off the arm and building the arm, taking off the legs, building the legs. I like to build the frame first. So with this, it's kind of like that. So you have to take apart the frame and build each part by part, and then put it all back together in the end. So the instructions, not much different than a Master Grade's instructions. And it actually looks quite simple. So it doesn't seem as detailed as a Master Grade. The other frame arms wasn't. I don't think they're meant to be. But it'd be interesting to see what that's like. So that's it for the Magatsuki. Okay, now moving on to the Doruga. And this I'm expecting to be pretty much the same in here as the Magatsuki. There's the first layer of the box. Inner frame. Clear parts, both colored and non-colored. And some other parts in here. I'm not sure why they're up here, if they're extra or not. I guess they're not, but I have no idea why they're left up in this top section. Okay, so move that out of the way. Get this kind of awkward to get out bit out, and let's see what we have. So here are the metallic parts in this, and metallic gold doesn't look that good. This would be something that would really want to be painted. It's really dull and it's just not that nice. Some light grays here and some polycaps over here. Dark metallic gray parts for the inner frame. More of these crappy looking gold parts. And some light gray parts. So these are the parts that'll make up the main outer of the mech that you'll be seeing. And it's quite a dark color. I'm not sure how well that'll pick up on the camera, but it looks okay. It's a bit dull. Some more parts of the same color. It looks a little nicer on the box than it actually does here, but it's hard to tell until it's completely put together. Oh, folded manual, quality control. So in here, same as with the other kit, this here for replacement parts, the extra parts. So there's only one set of clear parts with this. I guess it has no sword, so you couldn't have any clear blades with it. Manual looks the same. In here is the parts list, and there is the inner frame over there again. So a lot of X's on the parts here. I can remember with the rapier, when you took it apart, there was a lot of the inner frame that you kind of just threw away or held on to if you wanted to keep it for other projects or something. So it's the same again here. You just take apart the inner frame, put all the little parts onto the inner frame, then stick the inner frame back together again when it's complete. So a lot of large parts again on this, so I don't expect to see a lot of moving parts on this kit when it's finished. But then again, that's yet to be seen. So there it is on the back with all the armor attached, without all the armor attached. So I will try to review these two kits as quickly as possible, but if you've seen my other video, the Exia repair parts and the GN arms also came on the same day. And a lot of times releases seem to be like this. It's always in the latter half of the month. Maybe everybody gets paid just before the end of the month, so they decide to just release everything all then. So I think there's no Master Grade this month. There's definitely no Master Grade this month. So I guess I'll be reviewing these instead. So thanks for watching and see you next time.